In this short overview video, we're going to describe some of the things that you'll see and ways to manipulate the three-dimensional view inside of a spire. You can see we have a part already open here. If I click in the 3D view with my left-hand mouse key, I'm able to rotate the 3D view around to look at it from different angles. When I let go, that becomes the new view that I'm seeing. I also have some predefined views up in the top right-hand corner here. I can zoom to fit. Already this is set to fit. I can click on this one to get an isometric view. We can click on this to look down the z-axis, this one to look down the x-axis, or this one to look down the y-axis. Also, if I right mouse click in the view and move the mouse towards me, then it zooms out, or if I move the mouse away from me, then it zooms in. We can also use the wheel on the mouse in order to do this as well. In the 3D view, you'll encounter a number of different things. What we can see at the moment is basically the current visual components. If we pop up the component manager, then we can see that all the components are currently drawn. If I uncheck any of these, then they're going to be undrawn from the 3D view, and that also means they'll be excluded if we created a toolpath. So we'll just switch that back on. Another thing that you'll see displayed in the 3D view is any contents of the working model. As you create or edit shapes using the working model, they'll be displayed along with any visual components in the 3D view. As well as the 3D model itself, either as a component or as the working model, you're also going to see toolpaths. If we pop open the toolpath tab and switch on 3D roughing, we can see that displayed within our job here. I can switch that off, and any of the toolpaths can be displayed in this way. It's also possible for me to preview a toolpath, and that will give me a new view, which essentially is a virtual rendering of the image as it's being cut away, dependent upon the specific settings for the toolpath and the tool that I have selected and the strategy that I'm using. At any stage, it's possible for me to save the contents of the 3D view, perhaps to email to a customer for approval on a job. If I wanted to save the image I have currently, I could go up to View, and I could come down to Save Shaded Image, and we can choose either a JPEG, a bitmap, or a GIF of the file type that we want to save, and then we could email that to the customer, put it on our website, include it as part of a virtual visual presentation or something like that. When I am saving a 3D view, sometimes it can be beneficial for me to draw or undraw some of the items on the screen. For instance, in this case, we have what we call the modeling plane drawn in the background. This is very useful as I create the 3D pieces because I've got something to reference them against. But now I come to actually save the image, it might be nice to undraw that, and we do that by going to the View menu and unselecting the option from the drop down. That will undisplay it, and now I could save the image without that being shown. I can also display other things from this menu, such as the XYZ origin, which is shown as this little icon that you can see on the screen here. There are a number of other options that affect how the 3D view looks and the entities that I can display within them. And we'd recommend that you go ahead and look at the reference manual to see what those different options are, or consult the help. And that concludes this short presentation.